Okay, welcome to another episode of that Naturopathic podcast. It's Dr. Dave here, and I'm going to get a bit ranty today. I'm going to talk about fiber that has been a bit of a pet peeve for me, the way that it's been um, thrown out with, the baby in the bathwater, that kind of idea. Unfortunately, psyllium is Plantago ovata. This is psyllium that is in Metamucil. There's a reason Big Pharma is using this in their little roster. Okay, people. Psyllium is great. Okay, there's always going to be people that don't react well to anything. You can find a person that doesn't react well to anything on earth. That's the way it is. We're all very different. However, psyllium gets trashed by a lot of naturopaths, by a lot of functional medicine docs, or maybe medical doctors too. um, Generally it's those who ascribe to this sort of SIBO perspective, and this is not a slam on SIBO perspective. It's a valid perspective, but I don't personally find it very useful in 99% of the cases that I treat. And I treat a lot of gut people, and a lot of them get pretty good pretty quick. um, and one of my things that I use very, very frequently in terms of interventions for the gut and the whole person, especially if there's any gut issues though, would be psyllium, Plantago ovata, seed or husk. Okay, so why am I losing my mind about this? Well, because it gets lumped in with all the other fermentable fibers, because yes, it is soluble. So you need to know your details for some things. That's what I've realized as I get a little bit older, and a little bit more focused on a certain thing. We can sort of glaze over things, and we run the risk of misattribution of um different qualities of intervention. So we lump all these fibers together, but this is a soluble viscous fiber. Okay, it's viscous. Psyllium is a viscous fiber, so it has very different physical chemical properties, and therefore does very different things when it comes into the gut. And it has a more regulating effect. It's not like a laxative. It's not a laxative in the sense that it's a stimulant laxative like Cascara sagrada or Senna or Senecot, as it might be used in the drug. It is not a stimulant laxative. It does not have very much in the way of fermentable carbohydrates. Now, those of you who are going to split hairs out there, good for you. That's good. Some hair splitting is good, but this does not have as its main attribute as a fiber, as a soluble fiber. It does not have a ton of fermentable carbohydrate. So yes, there's some in it, but it doesn't have the same amount as, say, fructooligosaccharides. That's not a swear word. That's fructooligosaccharides for those of you who prefer it that way. So it's not a prebiotic as much as it is a soluble viscous fiber that has a regulating effect on the hydration, which is a major part of the environment of the lumen of the bowels, which means there's a different environment, which means you're going to have different tenants, and you want good tenants in the bowels. Okay, so please, practitioners, stop throwing this beautiful intervention under the bus under the label of fiber. Know your fibers, know the differences between them. And if you're a patient and you have someone who's dissuading you from psyllium, there may be a great reason for that. So I'm not coming on here to say they're always wrong to dissuade you from psyllium. I'm just saying, for some reason, this SIBO perspective has really propagated a reactionary knee-jerk reflex to remove psyllium from the arsenal. I didn't use it for 10 years. I'm embarrassed. I didn't use it for 10 years. I didn't think it was good enough. I didn't think it was fancy enough. I didn't think it was sexy enough. I didn't like that Big Pharma had something called Metamucil and would actually work. Well, too bad. Too bad, former self. Metamucil, psyllium, whatever. I can't say Metamucil that many times, can I? I don't know. I just did. But psyllium is a wonderful intervention that may be part of a comprehensive approach to IBS or SIBO. And I feel like I've set the record straight as much as I can on psyllium, and its use is not to be vilified as much as it has. Please, let's make psyllium great again. Okay, that's it for this week. Thanks for listening to another episode of That Naturopathic Podcast. Dr. Dave signing out.